Hey everyone, we live in an age where almost everything is connected digitally. Our phones, computers, even our cars. They all rely on ones and zeros. And just like in the real world, this digital world has its share of risks. That's what we're diving into today, cybersecurity. We're going to demystify this whole world of digital threats, break down complex jargon into plain English, and give you the tools to navigate the digital world safely. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or just starting out, understanding cybersecurity is crucial for everyone. This isn't just about protecting your data, it's about protecting your privacy, your identity, and your peace of mind. So buckle up, because things are about to get interesting. So let's talk about the bad guys, the cyber criminals. Who are these people? Well, they can be anyone from lone hackers in a basement to organized crime rings to even nation states. First up, we've got the classic hacker stereotype. The lone wolf, driven by curiosity or a desire to expose vulnerabilities. They might be after bragging rights in the hacker community or trying to prove a point. Then there are the cyber criminals motivated by cold, hard cash. These guys are all about stealing your financial information, your passwords, or even holding your data hostage for ransom. It's a billion-dollar industry, and unfortunately, business is booming. Don't forget about hacktivists. They use their tech skills to bring attention to political or social causes. They might deface websites, leak sensitive information, or disrupt online services to make a statement. And then there are the state-sponsored attackers. These are government-backed groups using cyber attacks for espionage, sabotage, or to gain a strategic advantage. Think stealing military secrets, disrupting critical infrastructure, or influencing elections. But here's the thing, cyber threats aren't always external. Sometimes, the biggest risk comes from within. We're talking about disgruntled employees, accidental data leaks, or simply negligent security practices within an organization. It's like leaving your front door wide open and then being surprised when someone walks in and steals your stuff. Insider threats can be just as damaging, if not more so, than external attacks. So, we've got a whole spectrum of bad actors out there, each with their own motives and methods. But the good news is, understanding their tactics is the first step in defending ourselves. Remember, knowledge is power. Alright, so we know who the bad guys are, but how do they actually get to our data? Well, they exploit something called attack vectors, basically weaknesses or vulnerabilities in our systems that they can use to gain access. One of the most common attack vectors is through email attachments. You know those emails with vague subject lines and attachments named invoice by TEF or resume.doc? Yeah, those are often phishing attempts. Cyber criminals love to use social engineering, which basically means tricking people into giving up their information or clicking on malicious links. They exploit our trust and our natural tendency to be helpful or curious. Then there are unsecured networks. Public Wi-Fi at coffee shops, airports, or hotels. They might seem convenient, but they're often not very secure. Imagine sending your credit card information over a public Wi-Fi network. It's like shouting it out loud in a crowded room. Another way cybercriminals can get in is through software vulnerabilities. Think of it like a flaw in the design of a building, a weak spot that attackers can exploit to bypass security measures. And let's not forget about good old-fashioned human error. Weak passwords, falling for phishing scams, or leaving devices unlocked. These mistakes can create easy entry points for attackers. Even something as simple as clicking on a malicious link in a social media post can compromise your entire system. The bottom line is, cybercriminals are always looking for the path of least resistance. They'll exploit any vulnerability they can find, whether it's a technical flaw or human error. But don't worry, we'll cover ways to protect yourself from these attacks in the upcoming chapters. Let's talk about malware. Malware is like a digital virus, nasty programs designed to wreak havoc on your devices and steal your information. We'll start with viruses. They attach to legitimate files like software downloads or email attachments. Once opened, the virus infects your system and spreads. Next, worms. Worms spread independently across networks, exploiting vulnerabilities. They can steal data, launch attacks, or turn your computer into a zombie, part of a botnet. Ransomware encrypts your files, locking you out of your data. You get a ransom note demanding payment for the decryption key. Trojans disguise themselves as legitimate software. You might download a harmless app, only to find it's a Trojan stealing your passwords or creating a backdoor. Spyware runs silently, logging your keystrokes and tracking your activity. This information is sent to the attacker for identity theft or financial gain. Adware bombards you with unwanted ads and slows down your device. Protect yourself with a good antivirus program and keep it updated. We'll talk more about security measures later. Let's talk about phishing, one of the most common and effective methods cybercriminals use to snag your personal information. It's like digital phishing, but instead of casting a net, they're casting out deceptive emails, messages, or websites. Phishing attacks rely on social engineering, which is basically a fancy way of saying they manipulate people into taking the bait. They prey on our trust, our curiosity, or even our fear. Imagine this. You get an email that looks like it's from your bank. It says there's been suspicious activity on your account and asks you to click on a link to verify your information. You're worried, so you click the link, which takes you to a website that looks exactly like your bank's website, but it's not. It's a fake website designed to steal your login credentials. That's phishing. Phishing attacks can take many forms. There are spear phishing attacks, which are highly targeted emails designed to trick specific individuals. Whaling attacks target high-profile individuals like CEOs or celebrities. Smishing attacks use SMS messages instead of email. The goal is always the same: to trick you into giving up sensitive information like passwords, credit card numbers, or social security numbers. So how can you protect yourself? Be wary of suspicious emails, especially those asking for personal information. Check the sender's address carefully, hover over links to see where they lead, and be cautious about opening attachments. Remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't take the bait. Let's talk about encryption, a powerful tool to protect our data. Encryption is like putting your information in a super secure lockbox that only someone with the right key can open. Imagine sending a postcard in the mail. Anyone can read it, right? Now, put that postcard in an envelope. That's a basic form of encryption, adding a layer of protection. Digital encryption is much more sophisticated. It uses complex algorithms to scramble your data into an unreadable format. Only someone with the decryption key can unscramble it. Encryption is used everywhere online. When you see HTTPS and the lock icon, your connection is encrypted. This protects your information like credit card details or passwords. Even if your device is lost or stolen, your data is safe. Encryption is crucial for cybersecurity, protecting our data in a digital world. So when you see that lock icon, know your information is safe. In the digital world, proving you are who you say you are is crucial. That's where authentication comes in. It's like a digital bouncer, verifying your identity. The most common form of authentication is using passwords. You know the drill. Create a strong, unique password for each of your accounts. But passwords alone aren't foolproof. They can be guessed, cracked, or even stolen. That's where multi-factor authentication, MFA, comes in, adding an extra layer of security. Imagine MFA as a two-step verification process. You enter your password, and then you need to provide a second factor to prove it's really you. This second factor could be something you have, like a one-time code sent to your phone or email, or something you are, like your fingerprint or face. By requiring two forms of authentication, MFA makes it much harder for unauthorized users to gain access to your accounts. Biometrics is another form of authentication that's becoming increasingly common. Instead of using something you know, like a password, or something you have, like a security token, biometrics uses unique biological traits to verify your identity. Think fingerprint scanning, facial recognition, or even iris scanning. Biometrics offers a higher level of security because it's much harder to fake or replicate someone's biological traits. Authentication is all about making sure that the person accessing an account or device is who they claim to be. Strong passwords, multi-factor authentication, and biometrics are essential tools for protecting our digital identities. So there you have it, a crash course in cybersecurity. We've covered a lot of ground, from the different types of cyber threats to the importance of encryption and authentication. Remember, cybersecurity is not just about having the latest antivirus software or creating complex passwords. It's about being aware of the risks, staying informed about the latest threats, and adopting safe online habits. The digital world is constantly evolving, and so are the threats. So stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe out there.